What is going on, guys? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 245 piece. Hold the damn fry. As always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Jovan, with the fresh new court background. W's.
Yeah, we got
sharp.
Yeah, we're moving, so I had to use a little green screen today.
I think it looks good, my man.
Yeah, hope so.
You graduate college, next thing you know, you're in the future. You got a nice green screen background. I like it.
A little temporary piece.
W's chat, W's. Jovan, big move yesterday. Nothing like it. Nothing like a nice move, huh?
I'm dying.
Think we can all agree in chat. Even the Yankee fans can probably agree with me here. Moving might be the worst thing on earth. Literally the worst thing on earth. Terrible.
Yeah, especially when it's 100 outside. Not fun.
Holy smokes. It's that hot down there already?
Not that hot, but we're in the 90s for sure.
Probably felt like 100 degrees.
Yeah, certainly did. Felt like more.
Unbelievable. As always, command wins. Left hand up. Left hand up. Who are we? You already know. W's chat. We've got an action-packed episode today. Happy to have you back, Jovan. W's. Yesterday, tried to hold it down. Gave out a terrible lacrosse play. We sweat out live. Just an absolute loser. Disgrace. But congrats, Notre Dame and the Irish for their first national championship in college lacrosse. If you didn't watch that tournament, I don't know. I can't help you. That was insane. I mean, if you don't like sports and you don't watch that, I really can't help you. Just great. I mean, the semis, 2 overtime games, the championship, Notre Dame finally getting the monkey off their back and earning their first natty was electric, even with the Duke ticket in my pocket. All right. And we got some PLL starting up this weekend, boys. You know what that means. That means winners galore. Winners galore. I'm stoked for the PLL starting up this weekend, chat. I know you guys are too. That might be my best sport to cap. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But it is. It is. All right. So we'll be nuking PLL coming up, chat. We've got Jay State Farm coming in with a sub bang. Let's go, my man. A streak the Celtics could never get on. A 16-month resub. Appreciate that, Jay. Love the chirp as well. Hovey coming in, 14 months. Hold the fry. Love it. Shout out the best community on Twitch. W's Hovey. W's Hovey, as always. And Brady Nemenek coming in with the sub bang as well. 8 months. Absolute beast. Appreciate that as well. All right, boys. Here's what's on the agenda today. Okay. We've got Celtics talk, obviously, here for a minute. We're going to go over Aaron Judge being the best hitter in baseball. That'll be fun for me. And we're going to do some Dinger Tuesday talk, as always, chats. Got to find some home run hitters today, some sluggers we think are going yards. The conditions might not be great. Jovan's going to talk about that a little bit too, but there's got to be a couple guys on there we think are going yah-yah. All right, we got to lock in Jovan, find some winners there. And word on the street, I'm hearing rumors that you may have an MLB future you want to let the people know about that you locked in today. Is this true?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to reveal the team yet. We'll go over it. But
we'll get to it. But, yeah, we definitely got one loading.
You want to let the people know the odds of that future to get them excited?
It's definitely well within 4 digits. I'll tell you that.
It is a juicy future in the MLB chat, and I'm excited for Jovan to pitch it. All right, boys? Let's go over the recap, recap from yesterday. We had the squad rides going. Jovan, it pushed. Legacy push. Thank God. Shout out Oakland's offense yesterday. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but shout out the Athletics for putting up some runs late in the 8th and giving us a push. We'll take it. No complaints on my end. No complaints on my end. We held it down, Jovan, on a limited slate, and I was probably more hungover than any human being should ever be after Memorial Day weekend.
Respect.
So we'll take a push. All right, chat. Yeah. And how about me finally winning a head-to-head?
How about
I did it. Let's go, chat. Come on. Come on. What do you know? What do you know? 5-point win. We'll take it. It took 121 piece. Holy smokes, Jovan. I mean, we put up good numbers this week.
Yeah, everybody not named Nolan Arenado. How you won with him? I have no idea.
Gosh, dudes. That reminds me, and I think my brain just wanted to black this out, but now I need to show you guys and remind you. I had a slip yesterday. I had a nice 6-piece slip that we crafted up on BTL. You guys remember from yesterday. And I'll pull it up. I'll show you. Don't worry. We'll go over it. Nice little 6-piece we crafted up on BTL yesterday, Jovan. That's pretty much all we did. It was a shorter ep. And then we sweat out the lacrosse game. But, dude, look at this slip. And I'll take my win, chat. By the way, Jovan is still 3-1 on the season in the head-to-head. So he's still crowned the champion. All right? But don't let me get hot. It might be too late.
Yeah, don't let him get hot.
But shout out Arenado here. Okay? He cost me some coin last night.
Lord.
To say the least, man. I mean, this was surge.
That was.
I mean, Jovan, I hit a prop on Caleb Martin under yesterday.
That's impressive that you got one of those.
Insane. And, I mean, I'm not positive because I was driving home for my sister's grad party yesterday, but my roommates told me that it was a 3 that Caleb Martin initially hit early, and they overturned it to change it to a 2.
Yep.
Okay, I bet. Great call there by the refs and Scott Foster. The extender could not do his job last night, but he helped me out there. I mean, this was surgical, chats. Shout out you guys. You gave me Will Smith strikeouts. He had 2. That was free. What else did you guys give me? Well, Arenado as well, but I'll give that a pass. And Kopech fade, Jovan, I kind of give that to you as well, but that was a nasty square I was probably taking anyways. Bryce Miller gave up an 8. Sure. There's the regression monster for our young guy, Bryce Miller there. But had to show you guys this pain from Nolan Arenado yesterday. Appreciate him doing nothing the past week. Nothing.
See that. People sleep on the fact they almost got perfect game yesterday by a Royals opener and bulk starter. It's not even not that they would get any credit for getting no hit against any Royals pitcher, but it wasn't like Brady Singer, it wasn't Zach Greinke. It was Josh Stallmont opening for Mike Myers.
Insane.
Wild.
Insane. All right. My Cubs have been awful, I bet. And Wander, Randy, Fantasy, and Stroman throws a complete game and almost a perfect game. Sure.
Yeah, shout out to Stroman. He dealt
beast.
Too.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Wanted to show you guys that prize pick slip that I lost sleep over last night. Don't let the A's get hot, Clan Mucker. It might be too late, brother. It might be too late. All right, Jovan, we're going to go over the NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP voting here. I wanted to show you this as a Heat fan. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, do you think Caleb Martin deserved to win the MVP for that Eastern Conference Finals? Because it wasn't like he performed, out of nowhere well in just Game 7. I mean, he balled pretty much the whole series and just absolutely exploded and won them that game last night. And he almost won the freaking Finals MVP, chat. Look at these votes. Jimmy Butler won 5-4. I know Jimmy probably deserves it. Panda saying in chat he had Caleb Martin at plus 6,000. My goodness, that sucks.
Tough.
That is tough. He probably deserved it. Deserved it. But Jovan, what are your thoughts here? And also talk about your Heat.
Yeah, I mean, shout out the Heat. I will say, as impressive as Caleb Martin was yesterday, the most impressive thing in that game to me was the masterclass Eric Spoelstra put on with that defense. And I know the Celtics were sloppy at times. Jaylen Brown had 8 or 9 turnovers. He was terrible. Tatum got hurt too, which limited his effectiveness. But that defensive game plan was an absolute Spoelstra masterclass. So Much respect to him. It's kind of what we expected, or I expected a little earlier once we started seeing the Celtics make some adjustments. Kind of, it was more just better shot making and effort in game 5 and 6. But that was incredible to watch. Onto the MVP, I think it definitely should have been Caleb Martin because everybody saw how consistent of a scoring option he was all series. Not just that, but he was great in shot creation, which was huge, especially when the Heat were struggling offensively to create their own shot, which I know they lost a couple of the games in 4, 5, and 6, but without him in those games, they get blown out, honestly. And Jimmy Butler was definitely the key veteran presence in some of those games. And he also had like a sneaky 28 last night, I believe. But yeah, it was definitely Caleb Martin. He, like our man's saying, definitely earned himself a bag this season. He's going to get that Duncan Robinson contract.
100%, whether he deserves it or not. I mean, he played like he did.
Yeah.
He got them to the finals. So, I mean, what else can you say? Yeah, he's definitely going to get paid this offseason. Deservingly so. Nevada legend, Caleb Martin. Wolfpack legend. He was a beast. Where did he transfer from again? He played 2 years somewhere and then transferred to Nevada, and I forget.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Someone in chat will know. Let me know where he came from. I forget. I was looking at that yesterday. Man, he's also a Oak Hill Academy legend in Virginia. I wanted to shout that out too. Went to high school here. Yeah, NC State. Yep, NC State.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. And guys, Jaylen Brown. I mean, look, I'm no NBA expert. You guys know I'm a college basketball guy. Obviously, betting and watching the NBA playoffs, it's way easier to watch because they actually play a little bit of defense. So we get into it there. We got to cover it, obviously, but college basketball reigns supreme in my eyes. But dudes, I mean, the NBA Finals, I mean, it's going to be a blowout. I don't even think the Heat are going to win a game, Jovan, and I would love for you to defend your Heat. But are they going to win a game, and how the heck are they going to cover the Joker in this series? Is Bam going to have any sort of chance?
Yeah, I don't think so, realistically. I think it's going to have to be like one of those situations where the game plan is going to be make Jokic pass. Not that it's not effective when he passes, but I think that's the only way they'll stand a chance is by making, Jamal Murray, MPJ, and a lot of the role players make shots. And again, not that it's the most effective game plan to say, hey, one of the best passers in the NBA, make him pass on a consistent basis. But that's the only chance they stand because they just can't let him eat on the inside. So they're probably going to double him a lot and kind of just live with the results. So I'm a little bullish on their chances as far as, a best of 7 series, but I think that's definitely going to win them a few games. So I think they can hang in there, play a lot tougher than a lot of people expect, but I'm definitely a little scared about how they're going to come out at the end.
And chat, before we show you, do you want to take a guess at what the spread is for game 1? Heat versus Denver in Denver? Shoot some guesses in the chat. Let me know what you guys think the spread's at. How many points do you think the Nuggets are favored by? Let me know. I mean, Jovan, all we've heard since last night or since yesterday, pretty much, since the series ended, is that there's no chance that Bam's going to be able to cover Jokic. And you're saying the only chance they have is if They don't let him be the big scorer in the paint and take advantage of a smaller Bam. I get that, making him pass first, but from what I've seen in the playoffs, the Nuggets look at their best when Jokic is their facilitator and the offense runs through him and he's not the first scoring option and they're relying more on Murray to be that first scoring option. Their offense looks unstoppable when Jokic is pretty much like the point center. So if that's their game plan, if those are the two options they've got, either let Jokic run free in the paint and try to take the rest of the role players or Murray out of it when they've been playing at their best, I mean, that's not going to go well. Jokic is going to grub in the paint because he's just bigger and better. And if they try to, keep him out of the paint and have him, run the offense from the point, I don't really think that's going to work either. And I know that's all everyone's been saying. And I hate backing narratives like that are so public, especially up to this point in the playoffs when everyone's betting these games, right? This is especially when I want to fade public narratives, but I can't wrap my head around the way that the Nuggets don't win the series in 5 games or less. I just don't see it happening. Miami has done an incredible job to get to this point, Jovan, and you guys do have Tyler Hero probably coming back for this series, and you don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I don't want that anyway, but
okay. Am I incorrect on that? Am I hearing wrong things?
I think there might be maybe rumors that he's coming back, but he's not coming back. They're not doing that.
Okay. I mean, this team, to be able to make it to this point, Jovan, with all the injuries they've withstanded, Jimmy's gotten hurt like 6 times throughout this playoffs, nothing major, obviously, but he's played through everything. These guys are so banged up. Caleb Martin's gotten hurt. There's another guy on Miami who got hurt. I can't even remember his name right now. But for them to get to this point is crazy, and it's almost like they're limping to the finish line. And if you watch Spoelstra's post-game interview last night with the media, which was great, by the way, he's so well-spoken and just a great dude. And it's no wonder why he's been to, 6 championships in his 15 years of coaching, which nobody talks about enough. There's a reason for that, guys. Watch this dude talk for a minute, and you'll understand how great of a leader and just person he is. But you could tell by how he was talking, they were just happy that they could get through that series. He repeatedly said, we're not even going to think about the freaking championship until we get to Denver. We're going to relax, rest, recover. The vibes are that it's going to take a freaking miracle to win, and that's not a hot take. I mean, the Nuggets have been quietly the best team in the NBA all season, and maybe it's because they're not exciting. I don't know, but I just don't see the Heat doing it, man. Do you think they have a chance?
I think there's absolutely zero chance that series ends in 4 or 5. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But they'll fight. They'll win some games. I mean, everybody has doubted them to this point. It's been a matchup nightmare pretty much every single series. I mean, who's going to guard Giannis? That worked out fine. Who's going to guard, Jason Tatum and everybody else? That worked out fine, which actually that was probably their best matchup was the Celtics. But, yeah, and you sleep because we didn't get a very aggressive Jimmy Butler this series towards the end, which maybe it was a little bit because of the injury. But Nuggets, he doesn't like the Nuggets. He doesn't like Jokic after everything that happened with Markieff Morris. They played kind of tight and very aggressive in the regular season games ever since. So I would not be counting out Jimmy Butler to take out the series, take it over just on his own. But I think they will certainly make it a lot more difficult than people expect.
Is there a series spread, Josh, like a future spread for this series on there that we can look at? Well, okay, we've got Nuggets, what does that say? -400 to win the series on the ML. Okay. Let's see what else they got. I want to see what the books are expecting. Here we go. W. Josh, chat, let him know. He's killing it. Absolutely killing it. Series spread. Okay. I guess that top one is the closest odds to even. Shit, that's kind of beat. Nuggets -1.5. Okay. They're giving your Heat some respect.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So that +2.5 was like -135 against the Celtics, and now it's -165. So
that's it. That's the only change.
I mean, that's
honestly, they're even more of a favorite. They're even more of a favorite to stay within the 2.5. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. So I mean, I think it's 6 minimum.
Man, this one could be sweaty.
Yeah.
Books don't think it's going past 6 games. Command wins. I think the books think this is going 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wild. I mean, yeah, Heat plus 2.5 just by betting on the odds and not using any basketball brain would be a decent look here, regardless of the juice on the minus 165. But Jovan, that's a crazy, crazy find you picked up on from the last series to this series. You said they were minus 130 last series?
It was the plus 2.5 was minus 135. That's why many
so a 30-cent
fans
move
and bettors
here.
like myself definitely got in on that.
A 30-cent move in the direction of the Heat as they play an even better team. That's crazy. That's crazy. And can we talk about the Celtics for 1 second here, guys? Look, I know Tatum twisted his ankle really bad in the beginning, and you could tell he was actually hurt because it wasn't like he was doing the LeBron James, getting in front of the camera, limping only, after a missed layup or something. The guy didn't have any sort of reactions to anything throughout the game, and you could tell that he was literally just focused on him being able to be standing on 2 feet and playing. He was banged up. He twisted the heck out of that ankle. Bad beat there for the Celtics. Yep. That sucks. But Jaylen Brown played so terrible in that entire series. I don't know if he'll be in the Celtics uniform next year after that. I mean, dude, that was brutal. Jaylen, Tatum's hurt. We need you, brother. Sure.
Yeah. What do? You let Derek White cook. He was the only one cooking for that team. He looked fantastic, and honestly, when it was a 15-point-ish game when he was cooking, kind of scared me that they were going to make it a little closer. But every time, he would go down the court, have a fantastic play, and then Jaylen Brown brings up the ball, it gets stolen.
Turnover.
Yeah,
the dude literally can't dribble.
He can't.
No.
And that was the perfect recipe to beat them this series because the Heat just game planned extremely well to put pressure on them that entire game, and it worked. And that was one of the biggest reasons they're able to extend their lead consistently. So, Tatum, when he's not hurt, they don't really have another consistent option, which is what killed them.
Yeah. Insane. Anytime the Celtics got any sort of momentum, next thing you know, Tatum's turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Don't let us get game 8. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, don't let him get game 8.
I blame his terrible performance and the Celtics melt job in this series. I blame it completely on the Jaylen Brown interview with I forget her name, but when he was talking about how he's going to win 5 championships in Boston and he sounded like he was the cockiest man on earth, better than LeBron James. I blame it on that interview, and you guys know what I'm talking about. 5 rings, I bet.
Yeah.
5 rings, I bet. Unbelievable chat. I saw some Aaron Judge love in here from Alex. There it goes. See ya. Look, he deserves respect. We're going to give it to him. Okay, you guys might know I'm a little biased. I might not be the greatest Judge or Yankees fan ever, but he is absolutely locked in right now, Chad. He's the best hitter in baseball right now. He might be the best player in baseball right now until he gets hurt again in a week. But for now, right now, if I had to pick a guy to go up there and hit a game-winning home run in the bottom of the 9th, it's Aaron Judge, and it's no question about it. It's no question about it. He had 2 nukes last night. Unbelievable. It looks so easy for him. He's a beast. And also, shout out Kellenick here for nailing his head into the wall. I think he's okay, but that was kind of scary. As you can tell, Judge isn't even walking around the bases there. He's like, what the heck's going on? But this dude is just absolutely locked in. When he is hitting like this at the plate, you cannot fade at all. You got to wait. And he also had a freaking home run rob in the outfield. The dude's playing defense too. He robbed Teoscar Hernandez of a nuke last night. Crazy. Flashing the leather here for Judge. Watching him play in the outfield is pretty entertaining. I will say so myself. He's got a great glove, and he's doing stuff like this all the time. He does it all the time in Yankee Stadium as well. In that, short porch over there in right field that should not be a legal baseball stadium. Got to give respect where respect is due. Give credit where credit's due. And I thought it was funny that Teoscar Hernandez, after the game, tweeted at Judge and was like, why, bro? Why'd you have to do it? Why'd you have to do it? I like this. I like the engagement between the players like this on Twitter. MLB guys, not the biggest social media guys, all right? But this gave me a chuckle.
Yeah.
This gave me a chuckle. And Teoscar, I ask myself the same question every day. Why? Why, Judge? Why do you got to do it? Why do you got to hit a home run every time I talk shit about you? And why you got to go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts if I ever back you? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Unbelievable. Judge replied to, yeah, no, it was a geek. It was a geek. Guys, I respect Judge as a player. All right, I do, but he's the captain of the Yankees, and I hate their franchise and everything they stand for. And he's going to get the brunt of it because he's the captain, and that's what he signed up for. That's what he gets. All right. And also, had to let you guys know this is huge. Okay, mark your calendars, chat. Chipotle's giving out burritos. This is not an ad. Chipotle's giving out a burrito for every 3-pointer made. 300 burritos, chat. I'm doing you a solid here. Okay, as a Chipotle connoisseur, mark your calendars. Okay, get ready. Get prepped. All right, get the fingers ready. Get the hands loose. You're going to have to be quick because people are freaks and they're going to be cashing in their free burritos. Okay, mark your calendars. June 1st, Chipotle free pointers is what they're calling it. Very clever. Very clever.
There you go.
Get ready, Jovan. I'll be watching these tweets like a freaking Hulk.
Yeah,
Getting ready for my Chipotle.
Duncan Robinson can give the kids some free burritos for sure this series.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Unbelievable. People in chat are saying Ben Joyce is him. Yeah, unbelievable, guys. You see his freaking 102 mile an hour first pitch in the MLB sinker.
Yeah.
You see how nasty it was? It reminded me of Strasburg a little bit with the movement.
Yeah. That's why they brought him up now. They need to use it while they can.
100%. 100%. A guy with that stuff does not need to be in the minors. Call him up. He's ready. W. Josh, good find. I mean, he was painting the corners. He was throwing 102 consistently. And, I mean, I couldn't hit anything this guy's throwing. I don't think anybody in the MLB could hit anything this guy's throwing. My goodness. Look at that movement on all those pitches.
It's nasty.
And they're all moving different ways. Like, no – and that's got to be hard to command, and that could be an issue for him down the line. But last night, no issue for Ben Joyce. My goodness, guys. Keep him on your radar. Keep him on your radar. All right? If Krabs can't, Judge can't. True. Good point. That's facts. Let me get a swing. All right, boys. Had to give Judge some respect. Didn't feel right, but he deserves it. He deserves it, Jovan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's free, but is it freer than Deborah under 1.5 4-baggers?
That's
W
real
Nightbot.
Real air right there.
W Nightbot with the chirp of the day for Debbie.
Love to see it.
All right, Jovan. We've got a bunch of MLB to go over today. No NHL, no NBA. Let's mention the Stars. RIP the Stars. Chase, hope you're doing all right. Vegas moving on to the NHL Stanley Cup. Jovan, any quick thoughts on NHL before we move into MLB?
I mean, respect to the Stars, I guess, for that entire series. Even though I know last night was pretty pitiful. A lot of these games, I guess the two that they won after being down 3-0, they came back and showed a lot of fight in those games. After I believe both of those games, they got scored on first and very early. So they showed a lot of fight in that series. It was respect. Hated the way those first couple games went, but yeah, the VGK was just so much better last night. It was destruction. But yeah, Jamie Benn, honestly, anytime he played for that team, they just looked so much slower and less athletic. So the second he started coming back, kind of figured that was their downfall, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, the Stars, I'll be interested to see what they do over the offseason. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Danny, you're happy in chat, my man. Vegas took him to the woodshed. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Domination. Was it getting a little sketch? You know, after those two games, Dallas came back, and with that line opening up at minus 130, sure. Just like Achilles is saying in chat, what the heck, same time. Yes, for sure, but didn't matter. I mean, Vegas dominated that whole series. They were the better team. They deserve to go on. They do. Very excited. Very excited for the Stanley Cup. I know our hockey sharks are ecstatic as well. All right, boys. Dubs. Let's go over some MLB. All right, you guys know what day it is. You guys know what day it is, okay? Dinger, Tuesday. Jovan, the weather not looking too hot today, though?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, cooler conditions with wind blowing in. So, like, if you look on Ballpark Pal and everything, you're going to see a lot of negative home run correlations by a lot. So, it's obviously I'm not a weatherman here, but it's not a slate where I think I can go insane on home runs. Like, we usually have a pretty big list. I'm going to keep it pretty small today. But there is a couple of guys that I like.
Okay. Is there a game you want to start? You want to take us through the guys you like, and then we'll start crafting up some other plays in the other games?
Yeah. So one of the games that I went to, partially because it's one with kind of neutral conditions, but also I like some home runs to be hit in this game. I went to Astros Twins. Which I don't know where that is on the list. There you go. But I like the Astros bats today against Joe Ryan. I think he kind of gets blown up here. And with Belak on the other side, if you're talking about the promo, it's probably not a bad idea to get involved here. So I went with Kyle Tucker. I think he has one of the best matchups against Joe Ryan. I love his matchup against the off speed, which he's possibly going to see hitting him low and in. And again, I do like the Astros bats a lot more than the Twins bats in this game. And I think Belak actually can pitch somewhat decent. But the home run threat's always there. Again, if you're talking about the promo, but I definitely had to pick one of these two big lefties, and Jordan's a solid shout. But I mean, for the price, I'd rather take Kyle Tucker, who on paper, I guess, is more likely to see pitches and not get walked every AB, but also is a little better against that arsenal.
Yeah, and you get almost 100 cents more value, which
Yeah.
you should be looking for on these home run bets. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Kyle tucked me in, plus 360.
Yep.
I bet. Somebody in chat was saying De La Cruz is getting called up for the Reds today.
Today?
Is that true? I looked on Twitter.
No
I couldn't
way.
find anything. Apparently, Ellie De La Cruz posted on Instagram what looked like a congratulatory note to himself on getting called up last night. But I'm not seeing anything official about him getting called up from anyone. Okay? I guess Ken Rosenthal tweeted last night, De La Cruz is coming soon, potentially leaving the Reds leader, Jonathan India, without a clear spot. Interesting.
I saw that. Yeah. I didn't know that was immediate, though. She's playing tomorrow, chat's saying. That's crazy, which perfect timing, I guess.
Holy smokes. That is perfect timing. That'll segue into our futures talk.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Jovan. Kyle Tucker, I hope you're right, my man. I need some more hits from him for my season-long entry on Prize Picks. Okay?
Yeah, there we go.
What else? What else do you like?
I went with one that's, I guess, on beginning of the season would be considered a little more square, but it's not because he hasn't been hitting the ball out of the yard at all recently. I went with Vlad against Adrian Hauser, another guy who has been decent at keeping the ball out of the yard so far. He's actually pitched pretty well this season. But again, another guy where I really like his matchup and really like the Blue Jays bats against Hauser. I like runs in this game as well, so probably not a bad one for the promo either. But Vlad, I think, easily has one of the better matchups here against Hauser, and he's going to have a little bit of power supplied there. So,
okay. All right, I'm down with riding with Vladdy. You said he's been kind of cold.
I mean, recently, yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't been hitting the ball out of the yard whatsoever.
Okay.
You can go over one real quick, and I'll be right back in.
Dubs. Chat, how about this Cleveland-Baltimore game with Cal Quantrill, our guy, and Kyle Gibson pitching? Total opened up at 8.5. Now it's up to 9. And Gibson's coming off of maybe his best start in an Orioles uniform. 7 innings, 2 hits. Incredible outing he's coming off of. He's given up 1 run in his last 2 starts. Maybe we try to take somebody in that game. Jovan, I'm talking about the Cleveland-Baltimore game today with the total moving up to 9 from 8.5 with how well Quantrill – hasn't Cal pitched better recently, or has he fallen back and relapsed?
He's been up and down, I guess you could say.
He did get rocked by the White Sox in his last start.
Yeah, he got rocked by the White Sox, but he had a stretch of like 3 or 4 good starts right before that.
Yes, he did. 3, 0, and 2 earned runs in those previous 4 starts. So he was positively regressing, starting to get back to the guy he's been over the previous few years where he's a magician. Okay. And seeing the total up to 9 in that game makes me want to maybe take some home run hitters. You got any guys catching your eye on this list?
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at Gibson because his lines looked a tad high, like you said, after that outing that he just came off of. Probably one of the best in a couple of years here. But it's hard to pick a Guardians guy. So like if I was going to pick a guy that's going to be on the list to supply a little bit of power, honestly, would probably give a little look to a Mike Sonnino, as painful as it is to say. That's kind of the guy that I would look at there. It's really hard to pick out. If you want a lefty, which I guess theoretically is a little better of a matchup, maybe you go with the Josh Naylor, but I'm going to take a Mike Sonnino here. I'm going to pick a Guardian.
Mike Zunino. He's either striking out or he's hitting a nuke.
Yeah.
On the options.
Yeah, it's going to be painful.
Okay. Has he been doing okay this season? X-Rays legend, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been not as atrocious as recently, but I think he went through like a 1-for-35 streak not too long ago.
Okay.
So he's fresh coming off of that.
All right.
Yeah, he definitely has seen Kyle Gibson quite a bit from in division. Yeah, he actually is coming off of 4 hits in his last 2 games, which is probably a record for Mike Zunino.
Don't let him get hot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Holy smokes. And Jovan, I got to interrupt here real quick. This is huge news. We have a new landing spot, a new team for Aaron Hicks. He's going to Baltimore. This is crazy.
First game back in Yankee Stadium. That's an auto bet for me.
Hicks when he plays against us. That's going to be Yankees fan.
Yeah, that's going to be him right there.
I love that signing for the Orioles. That's such an Orioles move.
It is.
That's such an Orioles move. Sorry, Josh. Yeah, I cut you off there. You can go back. Dubs. That's an O's move, and that could play out well. Who knows? I mean, he gets to play against his old team a pretty decent amount. That's going to be fun to follow for sure.
Yeah.
I'm now an Aaron Hicks fan. This is good. I'm going to have to get a jersey. Holy smokes. Come on over from the dark side, bro. Come on over. You're welcome with open arms. Okay, you're in Baltimore. You can now be a likable player. All right? Let's see if he can rejuvenate his career. You think he'll do anything? All jokes aside, you think he'll do anything in Baltimore?
I don't think so.
Okay. We'll see, man. We'll see. Ex-Yankees are always much better after they leave. Sure, Devin. Sure. Didn't they just lose Mullins? That could be why. Does anybody know how bad that injury is? Is it season long? Is it a month? What's Cedric Mullins doing? I'm looking right now. I'm not seeing
15 day.
15 day they put him on with a groin strain. Okay. Depending on the grade of the strain, here are the estimated recovery times. Grade 1, 2 to 3 weeks. Grade 2, 2 to 3 months. Grade 3, 4 months or more. Holy smokes. So I guess they got to go in there. They got to check him out. They don't know yet. He's got to go talk to a doctor. Okay, it just happened yesterday. And depending on what happens there, I mean, he could be out for a couple months here, guys. That stinks.
That would suck.
That stinks. I think we're all Cedric Mullins fans. It's hard not to be.
Yeah, you got to be. You got to be.
Dubs. All right, chat. Let's get back to business. Okay, cut the shit. We need to find more winners. All right. I like that Zunino play. I do. What about Santan the man at plus 360?
It's an interesting one. No problem with that. Going up against Cal.
Has he done anything against Cal in his career, I wonder?
It's a great question.
Well, he's coming off a nice 3-hit performance in the last game. Hasn't hit a home run since May 19th.
Ooh.
Some might say he's due.
Some might say he's chomping at the bit.
Do you have a read on where he's usually sitting for home run odds or no?
I mean, he's usually up there at the top. So I mean, it's really a wash between him and sometimes Mountcastle up there. So he's probably about right where he should be.
I'm down to lock that in. See if Santan the man can break out of his little slump. Had a good day yesterday at the plate. He's facing Cal. Total's moving up. I'd like to put an Oriole in there as well. Love it. Someone in chat said Gunner plus 7 hundo. See, this is what always happens. You guys say that, I don't do it, and the next thing you know, he hits 2.
Yeah. I mean, the thing for Gunner, which a lot of people have been betting him recently, it's because when he's facing right-handed pitching, he's been hitting the ball hard. Even if it hasn't been resulting in home runs 100% of the time, he's been crushing the baseball. So it's not a bad look there, but I'd rather pick Tony Taters.
Yeah, let's go with Tony. Tony 4-backs.
Yeah.
All right. Love it, chat. Dubs. Jovan, you got another guy up your sleeve?
Yeah, so I really wanted to look at a Brave today. Of course, a Braves righty, because this is kind of the revenge game against the A's for last night. Braves were in a really rough travel spot yesterday, coming across the country and playing what was supposed to be, I believe, a day game, but they pushed it back after Sunday Night Baseball. So they got killed a little bit in that game. So I think they come back today against a lefty and kind of destroy them. I was looking at one of these righties, and yeah, slop rules. I was kind of debating between two guys. One of them was Kevin Pillar, and one of them was Travis d'Arnaud, and decided to go with Travis d'Arnaud, guy who I think matches up the best outside of Austin Riley, who is probably a pretty popular pick today, and I have absolutely nothing against that. But Travis d'Arnaud is definitely the guy that I think has a really good matchup, and he's the one that probably looks the strangest as far as the odds go, sitting above a couple of the guys that I wasn't really expecting. Even when they're playing a lefty, you don't see him up above Matt Olson very often, or Ozzie Albies, who is another popular pick that I've seen today because of the way he hits left-handed pitching. So I decided to go Travis d'Arnaud, which on FanDuel, I guess for the promo, is sitting just below 400, which is a little strange there.
The book who does the big promotion on Tuesdays is cutting his odds a little shorter than the others, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Interesting. I'm super down to not take one of the public guys in the bounce back spot, but go with a little sleeper pick here with d'Arnaud, who's got plenty of pop. He's been great this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Sean Murphy returns to Oakland. Yeah. And slop W's, man. If Jovan even mentioned the word Pillar again, I was going to just lock it in without even a question because I'm sure he's hip. That's why he's asking. I mean, Jovan, you called the heck out of that Pillar home run 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was fun. A little in-person one. Felt good.
That was insane. Okay. Travis d'Arnaud plus 550, I bet. I like it. What else?
I think that's a majority it for me. Like I said, the conditions are not great, so I didn't want to go overly crazy, especially in like some of the parks that I like the over, like one of them, though I guess we'll talk about in a little bit. I like the over in the Giants game. Really tough to pick out home run hitters against those two pitchers there, so it didn't really even bother to try through that, but it's just it's a weird home run slate.
Okay. Any Seattle Mariners you think could go yah today? I know the total's low. I know it's a pitcher's park, but I wanted to take a peep and see if any of these guys on Seattle were a little short.
I'll tell you, I did go through this game a little bit because another of the ones that I saw all throughout this morning was Teoscar. Obviously, because he's facing a lefty, that's a really good matchup for him. But the one that looked really, really short to me, which another guy who has a plus matchup is AJ Pollock.
Dude, I'm literally Googling his stats right now. That's what I wanted to take.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the line that stood out to me for sure.
AJ Pollock, who hasn't hit a home run this month and is batting 167 and is looking like he might not be in the majors next week at this short of odds in a game with a 7 total. I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Let's fucking go, dude. That's exactly what I wanted you to say, and it happened. That doesn't happen often, chat. It doesn't happen often. That's a win-win-win. Luis Robert hitting one. Hey, K-Sav, his last name's Robert. How about it, brother? Robert. Love it. Do you think he goes yard tonight? I don't want to take him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm good there.
We'll stick with Pollock. We got to stick with these no-name guys. That's where the real value is, chat. And he should not be plus 425. Come on now. With how he's been hitting, with a total at 7, he's got a good matchup. Good. Let's see him hit one out. All right, chat. Let's scroll through and see if there's other games with high totals. Irvin's pitching today. Any Dodgers going yard?
Also at the house yesterday, we were riding Outman and JD Martinez, which JD Martinez went yard.
Good pick.
So like on paper would be a pretty solid matchup for him again. So I don't want to necessarily go back to him, but that would be my kind of lean there against Irvin. But I think Irvin pitches kind of well, to be honest with you. I lean the under in that game, which a lot of that could be predicated on Gonsolin, but I think he can be all right. Maybe a couple multi-RBI base hits are the difference for the Dodgers there, but I'm not a big fade Jake Irvin guy today.
Okay. Irvin had 2 incredible starts to start out his MLB career out in freaking nowhere. Everyone was fading him. Nobody expected anything. Dealt for 2 starts, gave up 1 earned run. His last 3 starts, been a little shaky. He's given up 12 earned runs. He's pitched like less than 10 innings in those 3 starts, all 3 losses, and he's given up 3 home runs in those games. He gave up 0 in those first 2 starts. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like he could give up a couple nukes today and maybe still give up, or maybe still not pitch terrible. So I want to look through this and see if any of these guys are looking short. I mean, Freddie Freeman owns us, and he looked locked in yesterday. What's he at? Plus 390?
Just about.
Plus 390? Man.
I will say, I was looking through for the national side of things, and I don't think since he's been in the lineup this season, I've seen Corey Dickerson lead the Nats in odds once, which is pretty high. It's at like plus 500, but that was one that I'm probably not taking, but just looked a little weird.
Okay. So the 2 guys I want to talk about are Corey Dickerson, who, by the way, I take back my chirps about Corey Dickerson and about tweeting why the heck he's on this team because he's a veteran guy. It makes no sense why he's here when we're rebuilding. But the dude's been crushing the ball since he's come back from his injury and minor league stint. He's smacking it. He's been moved up into the meat of the order now, and he's a lefty against Gonsolin. Good matchup there. He's seen the ball great. He's smacking it around. I would not hate a sprinkle one bit with Corey Dickerson. Take one out to right field, line drive type, wrap it around the pole maybe. It's probably going to have to be that way. I don't hate that. And I don't hate David Peralta at plus 550 against Jake Irvin when he hasn't hit a home run this month and he's got 2 on the season. I thought those odds were a little low. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, just maybe a tad. I don't hate his matchup today. I could be fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gen's going to go crazy. This is a former Ray 2-piece in the same game.
Was Dickerson a Ray?
Yeah, he was. I think he was an all-star as a Ray.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
And then he went to the Cardinals?
I don't know where he went right after that. I think he might have gone to Miami right after that.
Okay. It's been a long journey for Dickerson. It really has. But he's locked in at the plate right now. As a Nats fan, he's been watching these games, and we've been blowing late with our terrible bullpen and Chad Kuhl coming out to pitch 2 innings out of the pen every freaking night. I mean, that's literally torture. That is torture. And I know we have to because we're abusing our A bullpen. We had to rest him a couple days. I mean, smart move. It's not like we're winning the World Series this year, but my goodness, guys. It's been tough.
Yeah.
I like Peralta. I like Dickerson in this game. I like runs in this game. I do. I know you like the under. That scares me a little bit, but guys, would not hate a sprinkle on either of these 2 gentlemen, either of these 2 former Rays legends for Dinger Tuesday. All right.
There we go.
What else, Jovan? Any other games we should target before we move to MLB futures?
I think I'm good there.
You're good? All right. Dickerson plus 850, Peralta plus 550. Here's what we got for Dinger Tuesday. All right. And we're keeping the card a little shorter today. Don't love a ton of nukes, but got to find some. And the hitting conditions are not great overall throughout the country, but here's what we got. We have Tucker at plus 360. We got Vladdy plus 450. Zanino. I think we have all Rays legends in here. This is hilarious. Zanino plus 600. Santan the man, plus 360. Darno plus 550. AJ Pollock plus 425. That might be my favorite one. That is disgusting. Corey Dickerson, I bet, plus 850 for my guy. Hey, last time we took a Nat at plus 800. It went pretty well with CJ Abrams last week, Chad. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And then Peralta as well, Rays legend at plus 550.
4 Rays legends.
Yeah, what the?
I just have to do a little lay on just the 4.
Okay.
Peralta, like Dickerson, Zanino, and Darno.
That is so crazy. It just might work, chat. So crazy. It just might work. Somebody in chat said they like Keibert Ruiz. Dude, Ruiz is trying too hard right now at the plate. He wants to hit a nuke against his Dodgers so bad. He got out in his 3rd at bat last night, I think, and went in the dugout and was destroying the dugout with his helmet, going nuts, going ape shit. You could tell the series means a lot to him. Don't blame him. I'd probably be the same way. He goes in there in the 9th inning, last at bat. He almost hits a nuke. He hits one probably 5 feet from the fence. He was close. I don't want to target Keibert right now. He is not hitting the ball great over the last month or so, and I think he's trying a little too hard. And he's not swinging at the right pitches. So I'm good on him. There's my little Nats take on that, okay? Jovan, MLB futures. MLB futures. Let the people know what you locked in today and why you love it.
Well, so actually, I locked it in a couple days ago,
Okay.
but we haven't had, BTL, or I haven't at least from yesterday, been on BTL. So, Josh, you can scroll up to the MLB futures, go to the team futures, then go to make the playoffs, and scroll until you see the Cincinnati Reds, because that's who I took at the time at plus 2,500. I just looked to, and it's down to plus 2,000. I think it's a little kind of understated here how good their lineup is, because it's super young, but it's also been really good. You have kind of the veteran in there, at least the veterans like Jonathan India, who's been really great this season. Tyler Stevenson started out really poorly, and then he started to pick it up a little lately. So you got those guys. You also have Matt McClain, who's been fantastic since coming up. Spencer Steer's been electric. You have Jake Fraley and TJ Friedel, guys who've been really exciting in that lineup and great platoon guys to use. And then obviously you have not just Elliot De La Cruz, who I guess is coming up sooner than I kind of expected here, but you also got Christian Encarnacion Strand, who's probably not going to be too far behind. So I love their lineup. And even like Joey Votto coming up in the back half of the season, even if he's not giving them production, if the team is kind of pushing for the playoffs, whether it's a wild card spot or the division, that veteran presence is going to really help. So I love their lineup, especially like if you're in the Great American Ballpark. That lineup's going to be exciting. And it's going to be a lot of pop, a lot of power, especially when Elliot De La Cruz comes up pretty soon. So the one main concern, obviously, with the team is the pitching staff. I'm not going to sit up here and say, outside of Hunter Green, that a four of Graham Ashcraft, Luke Weaver, and then, as it stands right now, Brandon Williamson and Ben Lively really get me excited. But they're guys who have been pretty decent so far. Like Ashcraft had a really good month of April, really terrible month of May. I figure that he can land somewhere kind of in the middle there and be a serviceable number two for them. Luke Weaver, kind of the how does he keep getting away with it type starts, and I'm just hoping that he can be decent there. Williamson's been kind of effectively wild. Even if you look at some of his numbers, he hasn't been great on the surface. He's had a little lack of control, but it's forced a lot of terrible at bats from a lot of guys. I know one of them was the Arenado day where he looked terrible. It's just he has a really unique approach to a lot of hitters. So, he can be someone who can manage the damage a little bit, which I'm fine with. And then Lively, same as Weaver, kind of how does he keep getting away with it? But he's been decent, so I trust him enough. And people also don't realize too, Reds bullpen's top 10 in the league right now. They've been really good. Alexis Diaz, I think everybody knows that name by now. He's been absolute nails at the back end. Alex Young, been great lefty to have in the back end as well. Even a guy like Buck Farmer, who's sub-3 ERA right now, been really good. So their bullpen's been more than serviceable. I think their lineup can keep them in games. And you look at the division too. There you go. You look at the division and make the playoffs. I went with that instead of the division because I do think there's a lot of progression coming from a lot of the wild card teams or the teams that are in position right now. But through the division, that division sucks. As soon as the cards start to heat up, the bats go cold when their pitching starts to be a little better. The Brewers, super young team dealing with a lot of injuries. I expect regression from them. We've already kind of seen it start to happen, so I don't trust them. The Pirates started off very hot. Don't trust them, even though their pitching's actually been pretty decent as of late. They can't hit. It's the rest of that, the Cubs, their bats are too inconsistent for me. So, I think that division is pretty wide open. So I think anybody has a shot there. Same story for the wild card team. So I'm taking a shot for a lineup that's going to be super young and exciting.
Well, I love the analysis. Okay. W analysis, obviously. And Hovey, W odds boost. This is how you use odds boosts. Okay. For bets like this, where you juice them up to an insane number there, plus 3,000 dubs. Okay. Great use of an odds boost. Smart man. And guys, you don't need to put, you don't need to put multiple units on these futures, right? You sprinkle. You might not even have to put a full U on these futures if you're not comfortable with it, right? Especially one like this at plus 2,000. You can put 0.2 U on that future. Put $20 on it.
I just have a half on it.
And go about your day. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, let's see if the Reds can continue playing good baseball and continue making noise in a crummy division and maybe sneak in there. All right. I love it. I've got one. You gave a team, that everyone expects to not make the playoffs to make it at a great number there. I'm going to give a team who is red hot right now, debatably the hottest team in baseball, who I think might not be making the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, Josh, you go ahead and scroll up to the Texas Rangers. Let's take a peep at their odds to miss the playoffs. And I hope Lauren's not listening. If you are, I apologize. And maybe I'll jinx you guys into winning the World Series here. Okay? But I like the Rangers at plus 170 to miss the playoffs. Right now, they are on cloud 9. They are at the peak of the mountaintop, Mount Everest of their season, in my opinion. They're playing great. They've won 8 out of their last 10 games. But here's the issue, Jovan. They're in the American League, okay? And I know they're up 3 games right now in Houston, and that's great and all. We're a third of the way through the season. That's impressive. But Houston's been a slow start of the last few years, and I expect them to get it going and figure it out and right the ship, okay? That's a winning organization. Whether they're cheating or not, they win. And I expect them to win the West in the AL. And then I'm looking at the rest of this American League in the wild card, because if the Rangers aren't winning the West, they got to get a wild card, right? And I swear to God, I mean, I would not be surprised if everyone from the AL East ends up going to the playoffs, okay? Yeah. I almost said we should take the Orioles to make the playoffs, but I'm not giving that out right now at minus 115 at the worst odds it's been at all year. When they've been this hot and playing this well, and Mullins just got hurt, I want to see how the team reacts to that, one of their leaders going down. But I think the AL East is sending pretty much everybody to the playoffs. I think Houston comes back and wins the West. And I think the Rangers regress throughout the season. I don't think their rotation is this good. I think they regress a little bit. And their offense has been insane. I mean, they have a plus 128 run differential. I don't expect that to continue. If it does, I'll charge it to the game. All right. I don't love their bullpen. I hate their rotation. And their offense is stacked, but they got to come back down to earth. And I expect that to happen soon. We're selling on the Rangers when they're at their peak, chat. And we're taking them at plus 170 to miss the playoffs, which I also thought was a little bit short, considering they're 34-19 on the year and looking like maybe one of the best teams in the MLB.
Yeah, and I have this debate every day, not specifically about this bet, but just about the Rangers in general, because, you know, I'm in Texas, a lot of Rangers fans here, especially a lot of my friends. But the one thing that's interesting about the Rangers so far this season, you know where they rank in strength of schedule? Dead last. And we talk about their success recently because, you know, I'm tapped into what they say. They've said the pitching staff has been fantastic, which it has been over the series that are against the Pirates, the Rockies, the A's, and a lot of the teams that just can't hit. The Mariners, too, I think we're in that as well. So their pitching staff's been really good without DeGrom, but they haven't faced many teams that can hit. It's like they've been really good recently. The offense has been great. Even against the Orioles, which I give them credit for that series. That's a real team, but I'm not that impressed. So they're dead last in strength of schedule to this point, and they're top 5, or I think actually number 6 from this point on. So they're going to face a lot tougher competition than they have in the past month or so, where they've really started to pick it up. So I'm definitely selling on the Rangers a little bit.
Now is when we fade, chat. Sell high, just like the stocks. Okay? Sell high on this team and expect a ratchet organization to return to being a ratchet organization over a large sample size, 162 game season. All right. They're coming back down to earth. Chase, I apologize, my man. This is not what you needed on a Tuesday morning after your stars get eliminated. I apologize. That's on me. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a drink when I'm down in Texas in a couple weeks. All right. That's on me, brother. W's. 2 futures, chat, to take the edge off. 2 plus chick futures. Love them. One a little bit more realistic at plus 170. Another one Jovan's got, who just dropped off the face of the earth. He'll be back. Another one at plus 2,000, chat. Value.
There you go.
Value. How about it?
Yep.
Love it. All right, chats. Hope you guys are locking those in responsibly. Like I talked about before, responsibly, okay? We're all about that on BTM. You want to do a prize picks, or do you want to do MLB slate?
Dive into the slate a little bit first, yeah.
Okay. Let's go over the slate. Let's go over the plays we like, the games we like. We got about 30 minutes on here, chat. I'm hosting the Surge stream. Okay, we got plenty of time. All right, we'll roll right into that at 2 p.m. Eastern, as always. Okay. Panda's asking about World Series futures. We got to let them come to us, my man. Got to let them come to us. All right. Once we get a read on some World Series futures in the next, couple days, weeks, whatever, we'll for sure do a segment on that if you guys want it. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Jovan, we don't got to go far. We could start with Rangers Tigers here. I'm liking the Tigers a lot. Go ahead and talk about why they're winning today at plus money against Martin Perez.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret the Tigers have been certainly in their better split against left-handed pitching, and the way Martin Perez has looked lately against a lot of these teams and a lot of these right-handed hitters that profile very similar, he's going to give up a lot of base hits. And the Tigers, when they're in their better split against left-handed pitching, it's weird because they just stack base hits even against pitchers who don't necessarily do it, and that's how they're going to beat you. They're not going to beat you. I know they just had I don't know if this was yesterday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. You had the big Akil Baddoo grand slam against the White Sox. But typically they're not going to beat you with a big blast. They're going to beat you with, nickel and diming you throughout the, the flow of the game. And I think Martin Perez is a guy who kind of is able to skate by when he allows a lot of base hits, which is why I think very often you see like his hits prop up on Prize Picks and it's always greened out because it's always him just pitching well and skating out of danger. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against the Tigers today. I think their offense certainly gets to him here. He's like, looking at his props, they're always a little weird. They're always a little high and make you think that he's going to get shelled. But today they're especially high. And it seems really strange to me, especially against the Tigers who, yes, they're in their better split, but they're not a flashy team offensively. I know they've been better, but I do like the Bats matchup. And Alex Faedo is a guy who, last couple starts, I guess I've been on a little bit. I've really liked his matchups, and this one's kind of similar when he's able to kind of attack hitters with like a certain approach, aka they're great at hitting one pitch, and he can throw, great fastball hitters, and he can throw the slider pretty exclusively, like a Adolis Garcia or somebody not named Corey Seager. Really, he has really good time against these matchups. So like I'm certainly down to back him today, and I think he's going to start pitching really well.
Okay, I'm with you. I mean, he's coming off a 10 strikeout game, chat. He's looking good. All right. Did some research on Fido, however you say it. I kind of like calling him Fido. I think it's funny we're taking him. Did some research on why he's been having so much success, chat. And he's been throwing that slider out of the zone more. All right. He's not filling the zone as much. And he's been way more picky with where he's putting that four-seamer. Pretty much not throwing as many strikes. And he's found an insane amount of success recently with it. And then there's still value when this guy's pitching because this is new. All right. He's only really looked good, recently with these new changes. And until the books adjust and get hip to Alex Fido, who's looking like a way better pitcher than he was last season right now with these changes, we got to keep betting him at plus money. And I love fading some Martin Perez. All right. I think that guy's a fraud. Respectfully, I think last season was a little bit of a fluke. Played against every bad team on earth and had insane amounts of success. I still don't really know how he did it or got away with it. I don't. Him and Cal Quantrill, I'm sure, are best buds. But, man, Alex Fido at plus 110 is looking at me funny. I've already locked it in. And I got plus 115. Hashtag CLV. How about it? What about Padres Marlins? Do you like anything in that game?
Not really. Kind of stayed away there because on paper, you look at a couple of the Marlins, like kind of the obvious Soler, but a couple of like the De La Cruz, and they have really good matchups against Ryan Weathers, which a lot of guys do, but Ryan Weathers just looks like a much different pitcher this season. It's weird. I know he's added a little uptick in velocity, so he's been really hard to handicap this year, so I kind of just resigned that game. Seems maybe a little short with Sandy on the mound, but he's looked a little human this season as well, and the Padres offense has been god-awful, so maybe it's a side where he gets right, so I don't really know what to do with this game.
Okay. I lean Padres. I lean Weathers as a short dog against Sandy with how bad he's looked this season. I want to keep fading him. Don't know if I'm locking it in yet. TBD chats. I want to keep watching the line like a hawk throughout the rest of the afternoon, but I lean Pods. All right. Our guys asking any plans to do a segment this week on baseball regionals. Jovan, is that this weekend?
It is. Starts Friday, I believe.
Friday. Awesome. So, yes, we'll need to do a little segment on that on Thursday. I know you're excited. You're pretty tapped in to college baseball, at least relatively. Chat, happy to do that. All right. The college baseball tournament is electric. It's absolutely electric. And I've talked about it all year. I don't really do regular season. I don't really find it interesting. I'd rather bet MLB, regular season games. But once we get to the postseason, that tournament, that's when I start getting involved. All right. And yeah, I don't really see anybody beating LSU this season, JJ. I don't. They have two of the best players I've ever seen in college. So we'll see. We'll talk about it. All right. LSU 8 winning. Yeah, I bet. W's. Chats. Cleveland, Baltimore. I like the over in this game. We'll get Jovan's read here as well, but I like the over moving up from 8.5 to 9. Already talked about it a little bit. Gibson coming off of his best performance he's had maybe all season in an Orioles uniform. The over might be a tad public, but I'm seeing that up arrow next to the percentage of bets on Bisson to the under, which is a good sign, although it only has 44% of bets currently on the under. It's seeming like they're getting some late bets there, which is a good sign. Usually late bets are not the smartest. And I like the splits. They're okay. I mean, 56% of bets, 68% of handle on the over there. So some big bets coming in there, trying to fade our guy Cal Quantrill and fade Gibson after a legacy start and back these offenses. And I want to back the Guardians offense already in the coming weeks because they are not as bad as they've been playing, and it has to come back down to earth. I still believe in the Gabba Guards. I do. And I think they've just been struggling a little bit. I want to back their offense and take overs in their games already over the next coming weeks. And this is a perfect spot to back their bats to get going and to fade Gibson off that legacy start.
Yeah, I kind of agree. This feels like to me one of the games where we get kind of Guardians. I don't want to say fluke shit because they don't really have that in them too much anymore, but just one where, again, they just knock a bunch of base hits off of Gibson, which is kind of not the Guardians' way right now, except you have Stephen Kwan, who's always going to do that at the top. Ahmed Rosario, he's one of the worst hitters I've ever seen with my life at the beginning of the season. Now he's starting to hit the ball hard too. So if we get guys on base for maybe a Josh Naylor tank, maybe a Mike Zunino tank at the bottom of that lineup, like they can score a little bit today. And I'm not really petrified of Cal Quantrill against this Orioles offense too. I think he can give up some runs certainly as well against some of the middle of that lineup. So I definitely lean with you into that under.
Yeah, and who's going to want to be taking an Orioles over with their guy Mullins out?
Also true. Yeah, I'm interested to see what lineup they put out too, because I know they've put pretty matchup dependent, but they've been putting Austin Hayes near the top of that lineup, and he's also a guy who's been hitting the ball and seeing the ball really well lately.
Yeah.
So if he's at the top there, I still love their chances.
Okay. W's, chats, give me the over. And that juice keeps on moving, minus 115 to the over here. Awesome. Good sign. Good sign. Chat, if you haven't already, please check out props.cash if you bet Prize Picks. All right. There's no reason if you're sending Prize Picks squares or watching BTL every day that you shouldn't try the 25% off your first month subscription and check out and see for yourself if you can hit more Prize Picks using props.cash. By far the best app to do research on and find winners on Prize Picks without a question, chat. There's nothing out there even close. All right. If you're betting Prize Picks, if you're betting on props on the books, download props.cash, use our promo code BOOKIT. You get 25% off your first month subscription. If you don't like it, if you're not winning more bets, cancel. But I swear to God, you're going to hit more if you actually try to use it and do research on props.cash. It's helped me. I used to be the worst Prize Picks guy of all time. I'm getting better every day, every single day. All right. Almost hit a 6-piece last night. How about it? Keyword almost.
Yeah,
almost. Download props.cash. Try it for yourself so you don't just think I'm a bozo up here talking about it. Give it a shot. All right. I promise you'll keep using it. I promise you'll like it. I promise it'll help. All right. It cuts down my lab work probably by half for props. I'm not even joking. All right. It's an awesome database. It's a great tool. Use our promo, download it, promo booking. All right, boys. Brewers, Toronto, Jovan, you like Kikuchi at all or no?
No, I kind of like the Brewers here, honestly. It's a kind of I don't want to say they've been terrible because, like, you look back and they had that dominant series against the Astros, at least dominant from a pitching standpoint, shut them out in the last two of those games. When they came back, whole Willie Adames situation kind of, I would assume, probably shook up that locker room a little bit, but they looked pitiful in that Giant series. They lost 3 or 4 there. Offense was really terrible until the last game there where I put up, I believe, 7 on Sunday. Now they got an off day traveling to the Blue Jays here, so very rarely do I want to back them against a lefty, but Kikuchi is probably one of the better matchups they can get for a lefty against this lineup. So like Willie Adames, in theory, is a pretty terrible matchup for himself, I guess, against Kikuchi, and he's not going to be in that lineup. It's going to be guys like William Contreras, guys like Owen Miller at the top of that lineup who Yes, the rest of the lineups have been pretty terrible against lefties, but those guys certainly haven't. They've been nails, and they're probably going to be hitting 1-2, maybe 1-3. Or I don't know what they're going to do with Contreras, but I kind of like their lineup against Kikuchi today. And Hauser, well, I think he's probably going to give up a Turk or two. I think he can limit that. So, like going forward, he's probably a guy I want to fade. But I think it's going to come in bunches. Like I think it's going to be strictly tanks if you're going to get runs off of them in the short term. So I do like the Brewers against Kikuchi today.
Okay.
Owen Miller's up for a run on PP. Really?
Oh, is he?
Really?
Huh. We'll have to get into that here in a minute. Let's keep powering through, Jovan. If we don't like games, let's skip them so we can make our prize picks for the people. Chad, I'm assuming you want us to do a prize picks today. Let us know. And also, as always, when there's games up on the screen, let us know what bets you like in them so that we can get a vibe for what you guys want to bet on and we can talk about it. Okay? Let us know if you guys like any plays up on the screen. We'll keep moving. We'll keep grooving. We start at the top. You guys know the drill. All right? You've been here before, not your first rodeo. Okay? Let me know what you guys like, and let me know if you guys want us to do a prize picks today. All right? Need it. Phillies, Mets?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a side in this game, but somebody's props that I'll certainly be looking into is Kodai Senga. I love his matchup today. I just don't know if I can trust the Mets bats. So maybe taking this. I haven't seen what exactly he's up for, fantasy score or strikeouts, but I'll definitely be taking one of them for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Mets today. I love the line movements. I want to back them. The only reason I'm not potentially is because the splits here. The splits. They're public as heck. Not even the splits, just the public backing them. Everyone's on the Mets. Not really surprising. Seeing some Alvarez next to the handle percentages for the Phillies, so that's a little scary. Maybe if that settles down and the Phillies get some late action, I'll hop on. But that could be a reason why that line's moving towards the Mets as well. They are public. Okay? Full transparency, they are. But I do lean the Mets and Senga. Okay?
Yeah.
You backing your Reds today at plus chick after all that talk?
Yeah, this is a strange one because I'm a big Reds offense fan, but I'm also a big Brian Bayo fan. And I know he's going to be in Fenway Park, which I guess might be as good as a hitting environment as Great American Ballpark at this point, the way it's unfolded this season. But I don't know. I kind of like his matchup today. I kind of lean this under, to be honest with you, because, again, I think we get a pretty decent start out of Ben Lively against a lot of the Red Sox lineup, but you also have Bayo, who's super tough on righties. So he's going to be a real problem for guys like India and Stevenson, Steer, and a lot of those guys. Like I do think he pitches well. I like this under. I think it's down from 10.5 as well, down to this 9.5, which you don't really see in Fenway Park very often, which is probably due to some of the conditions. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I do think we get a pretty good pitching performance from both these guys.
Yep. Give me the under. I like it. Weird move. These unders got to start hitting at some point. The books are getting crushed in Fenway. They are. Hence why they're starting to just set these automatically pretty much at 10.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you. Give me the under in that game. I like it. We just need one of those two arms to lock in. One of those two starters to lock in. We can get it. Kansas City, St. Louis. Line's moving towards Mikolas. Greinke on the road. Sketch. Juice is moving, though, towards the under. I'm seeing. A little weird there. I'd probably lean the under. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know if I can take the under. I'd probably take Cardinals team total over after last night. Just kind of blindly taking it against Greinke, who I believe, I don't know this for sure, Chad, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but, he's had really terrible road splits, but he's actually been somewhat decent on the road his last handful of starts. I know he had one really good one, I believe, against the White Sox, but beyond that, just kind of generalizing. So coming off of the start where they looked embarrassing last night, probably lean for them to bounce back. And I know Mikolas also looked really good in that red start as well, but that's probably a reason for a little move down to the total, but I think the Cardinals bounce back today.
Okay. And Alex Strip said he's talking about that total in Cincy Boston still. Line open at 10, even though both pitchers been solid. Weird. Overs are 18-7-1 at Fenway Park this year. The Reds are 14-11 on the roads for overs as well. So that's kind of surprising. Usually people think they only score at home, but they've been scoring on the road as well. Overs have been hitting like crazy for both these teams. So they're starting to just put these totals at 10 because they have to. And I'm standing by my take. I think it's the freaking lights, man, at Fenway. The new lights, these guys are putting up tons of runs. The hitters have said it's improved drastically. That shit matters, guys. They had lights from like the freaking 40s at Fenway still. And now these guys can freaking see the ball way better. It's not rocket science. Okay.
Yep.
That's why they're putting those totals high. They have to, because they need unders to start hitting, or else people are just going to be getting hip to this trend and they're going to get crushed on these overs. All right. So expect some regression there. All right. Tampa, Chicago, Jovan, give me the McClanahan report. I think it's weird that this total has moved up a run, and the Rays have pulled back about 35 cents. That's weird with how bad Hendricks looks in that first start. I don't know. I mean, runs are being scored here. Looking at that total with the game at 8.5 with McClanahan pitching, that's crazy. And you'd expect it to be the Rays and expect that line to move towards them and then be a fatter favorite with how bad Hendricks pitched in that first start. Why is that line pulled back 35 cents towards the Rays?
Yeah, I don't think Shane is going to have his A-plus stuff today, personally, because a lot of the reason he's been Cy Young caliber this year. I believe he's the favorite as well, but he's been so effective. But his one problem has been control, and as far as getting himself into a lot of deep counts, like he's been struggling a little bit more than past years with like walk rates. The Cubs are the most patient team in the league. I always pound that drum. So he's going to get him, probably going to chase him pretty quickly. Honestly, I see him probably going 5 in the start, but I do think the Rays bounce back and score runs too. So like similar situation to when they got embarrassed 20-1. I think they bounce back and win. I just think it's going to be a little more rough.
Okay. All right. I think Cubs is a good look here on the ML for a sprinkle chat. I do. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, Jovan. But I'm taking Cubs potentially plus 160 and a Hendricks legacy bounce back start. Stay posted to chat. That's your Celine right now. LA versus the White Sox. Shout out Hendricks from returning last night. I know he didn't have his best stuff or best performance, but huge for him and just everyone. Great to see him return from cancer for the first time pitching yesterday. That was awesome for the White Sox. Hopefully he bounces back in his next appearance and shuts him down. He deserves all the hype he's getting this week for that. What a beast. What a beast. Today, Angels, White Sox, Jovan, lines moved 5 cents-ish towards Giolito. Total down from 9.5 to 9. You like anything?
Yeah, I don't love anything, but I definitely lean Giolito after he just got absolutely embarrassed against the Tigers. I think he had 8 walks in that game. You saw the way that this game came yesterday with the Angels striking with a Drury home run early, not really much. White Sox tried to fight back afterwards, but Angels, they have 2 runs in the top of the 8th, top of the 9th, kind of set the game away. I think it's going to be kind of a flip script of that game. I think a lot of the White Sox are going to bang pretty early and often. It's going to kind of stall from there, and Giolito pitches well as long as he can keep the ball in the strike zone a little bit, because if he can not walk a lot of these Angels, I think he'll be perfectly fine. So I am definitely leaning Giolito.
Okay. And you like Houston against Minnesota today? Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Bielak as a short dog. I just really like the matchup for a lot of the Astros against Joe Ryan, and Bielak is a guy who I can trust to do just enough against these Twins hitters, which really isn't saying much, to be honest with you. But I do think we get some runs in this game a little bit. So like I lean the over, and I think the Astros are going to have a couple, big multi-RBI hits off of Joe Ryan, which may chase him a little early in this game too.
Okay. I'm with you. Let's keep powering through. Try to hit all these games in the late slate. Atlanta, Oakland. You like Atlanta's offense to bounce back today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take Braves minus 1.5 because it's not like one of the square ones that I'm like obsessed with, like the Yankees were the one time, but it's probably what I would take here if I had to.
Okay. Yep. Give me the Atlanta team total over in this game. They're going to put up a 10-piece tonight after that loss. A loss to Oakland feels like a series sweep. They're going to bounce back today. All right. Colorado, Arizona, Freeland versus Gallen. Total up from 7.5 to 8.5, though, Jovan, with these 2 good arms up on the bump. Weird.
Very strange. Very strange.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely lean with that over, too, especially with the D-backs, probably rightfully so, but they haven't been playing their best ball recently, I would say, and to see them minus 250 with Gallen with how inconsistent he's been in certain spots, very strange. I know he's coming off of a fantastic start for the most part against the Phillies. But right before that was when he got rocked, I believe, by the Pirates. So he's been super inconsistent. He's back at home where he's been a lot better. So I don't really know what to do as far as the side. I don't see much value in the D-backs, but I think you get some runs. Maybe like a situation where you have the D-backs destroy Freeland, and then you get like a one like 2-3 run homer off of Zach Gallen from the Rockies, and that's enough.
Yeah. Give me the over in this game. Give me the over in this game. New York, Seattle. Give me Gilbert, your guy. 15-cent move towards Seattle after losing the last couple nights. Seattle, I'm out. Don't overthink it.
Absolutely.
Fade Nestor.
Yep.
He's not looking too sharp right now. Love it. Pitt, San Fran, Jovan. Anything in this game?
Yeah, it's against a little line move. I think it was at 9. Still kind of coming down, but I don't care. I like the over. I think Oviedo is the guy who I'm going to look to fade against these lineups that are on paper like big strikeout teams, which I guess the Giants have been a lot better against right-handed pitching, especially as of late. But I think he's going to give up a couple big blasts to them, and I think his control is going to be a serious issue against this lineup. So I like some runs.
100%. I'm with you. Anytime a total opens up at 9, definitely catches my interest in San Fran. Go ahead and give me that over. Just a lean, though. All right. And then Nats Dodgers tonight. I don't know how it's going to go for my guy, Jake Irvin. You think he's going to pitch pretty decent, which makes me happy. So I won't be fading at all. And also the Nats are not to be bet on from me for the rest of this first half of the season. Same with the Royals. They're banned. All right. I think the Dodgers put up some runs, though. I'd probably go Dodgers team total over. Got in my head if I had to. All right. Chat, we just powered through the MLB slate. All right. Let's go ahead and get the squad ride moving and grooving. Okay. Coming off a push from yesterday. Ran it myself. No Jovan. But, hey, we made through. No loss. All right. A push is a win. That's what I always say, because you're not losing coins. All right, we'll take it. Let's bounce back today. We got plenty of MLB plays we like. We got some already locked in. I mean, Jovan, we got to put the Tigers in here, I'm assuming.
Yeah, put the Tigers in for sure.
Okay. Tigers in there. Seattle in there.
Yep, Seattle. I like Seattle. I'd be down to put the Brewers in there, too. Starting to like that more and more.
Brewers ML at plus check.
Yeah.
Sure. Brewers ML. What about that over in Baltimore?
Yeah. Down to put that in too.
Okay. And then for the 5th piece, we could go Mets ML. We could go Boston under. I like that play. We could do Cubs ML, but that's juiced. Houston ML maybe. I'd say either Houston ML, Mets ML, or that Boston under. And I'm thinking I like that Boston under the best. That's nasty as heck.
Yeah, I'm down for that for sure.
Cool. All right. That might have been the easiest squad ride formation I have ever seen in my entire life for those 5 plays, chat. Detroit ML, Seattle ML, Milwaukee ML, the Baltimore over 9, and the Red Sox under 9.5. I freaking love all those plays. And with how easy that was to find those options, I might have to make a little sprinkle, chat, keyword sprinkle, on a little 5-piece parlay. Huh. Maybe use a little free bet action, fire away, a little 5-piece. Wouldn't hate it. I like all those plays, chats. The poll should be up. All right. Poll should be up. We'll get it moving. We'll get it grooving. Okay. Yep. Poll is up in chat. Go vote. Hurry up. Go. Hurry up. We're running out of time. Tigers are running away with it, Jovan. They're up 3. Big early lead. Here come the votes. I want to see a 50 burger, chat. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to see a 50 burger.
Lock in,
chat. I want to see a 50 piece on the votes. Go. Hurry up. There's no time. Go vote. Chat, a lot of good options here. Plenty of winners. Look, dog days of summer is approaching. All right, chat. We're about to be balls deep in MLB. We're about to be doing plenty of PLL action towards the weekend. All right, super stoked for that to start up here this weekend. You already know I'm in the lab finding winners. All right, super stoked for that. Any squares from Jovan? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it. I do like Senga K's. That's one from the pitching perspective that I've been on or will be on. I looked through some of the total bases too. They're still adding a bunch. One that caught my eye, it's kind of funny. Clint Frazier, half a base. That's calling my name.
No way. Josh, can we pull up Prize Picks real quick while everyone's voting and see if you can craft up something for the people? Let's see if we can pull it up real quick. We'll start out. What was that Brewer Square you said was weird that was up there?
It's not that weird because like he's assumingly going to be leading off, but I like runs in that game, and or at least runs from the Brewers. And Owen Miller is up for a run against Kikuchi, which I really like.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, lock that shit in. I like it. What about that earned runs category, Josh? Let's take a peek.
Category.
Let's take a peek. This is my favorite category, dude. My favorite one. Could take Faedo under. Could take Perez over. Could take Gibson over or Cal over. Jovan, I mean, there's so many options here, dude. Senga under. Shane over. Lucas under. Nestor over. I mean, I like all those. Should we take them all?
Yeah, just pretty much every pitcher on the slate's up here.
Let's go.
Wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, out of all those million dudes I just named, is there one that you actually like?
I mean, there's a couple that are certainly catching my eye. Unfortunately, I mean, the one that I wouldn't mind taking, or at least you taking, I got Shane up there for 1.5.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. Is that the weirdest one up there?
I don't know if it's the weirdest one, but that's unbiasedly probably the one that I would pick out and say I would take the over on, because even if he pitches well, I think the Cubs are patient enough to get a lot of foot traffic and translate those into runs. I just think the Rays probably score more of them.
Okay.
So wouldn't be mad at that at all.
All right, chat. What about this little 4-piece and take the edge off today, huh? A little 4-piece hold the fry. Senga strikeouts, Frazier TVs, Miller run, and Shane more than 1.5 earned runs. This is so gross. It just might work. It just might work. And his K's is bumped down to 5.5 in a special.
Yeah, it was like that. It was a taco today.
Yeah. Chad, here's your 4-piece for BTL. All right. Get your freaking squad ride votes in. It might have already cashed. Anybody see what won while we were in the lab?
Let's see.
Does anybody know? Let me know. Dwarf Noah coming in with a sub bang. You're a beast. That's my dwarf. How we doing, brother? Baumgartner Jackson, sub bang, 12 months. Appreciate that one, beast. Glockchester, 7-month piece. Hold the fry. Appreciate that. Purely Locks, 17 months. Let's freaking go, dude. Let's freaking go. Anthony Coretti coming in with a sub bang. Tons and tons of sub bangs. Tons and tons of sub bangs. I would like a 4-piece with the fries for once. No, sir. Hold them. We don't even want them.
And yeah, Jake, I'll be dropping a little card today for sure.
Good. Guys, stay posted. Make sure you're following. I'm sure you're all following Jovan. Make sure you stay posted for his cards. Plenty of med kit props to be taken there, Jake. W's. All right. But we're taking this 4-piece. All right. And looks like the over in Tampa was the squad rides. Sorry, Baltimore.
No, Baltimore.
The Baltimore over is a squad ride, which I freaking love. One of my favorite plays of the day today, chat. All right. Over 9 in Camden tonight with Cal Quantrill up on the bump. Now I know where you guys picked it. You want to fade Cal. Love it. Love the energy today on a Tuesday, chat. Stick around. All right. We're going to fire up the Surge stream here in a minute. I appreciate you guys joining as always. Okay. We'll be on here same time, same place tomorrow. We'll be seeing, chat. We'll be seeing. Let's get some runs.